Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, hi, my name is Elena. I'm 17 years old and I make very mediocre videos. Today I'm going to be doing my everyday makeup routine. This is just the makeup look I do every day, or whenever I do put makeup, this is what I do. It's going to be a very natural look that I usually wear to enhance my features, not to completely change my features. First thing I want to get out of the way is I do not wear foundation or a full face of concealer. I just like to spot conceal if I do have trouble spots, but my face is looking somewhat relatively clear at the moment, so I do not need to cover up that much. But yes, I do not wear foundation because number one, KL is so humid, so the idea of like concealer, foundation mixing in with my sweat and being reabsorbed into my pores, like that just freaks me out, so I just don't wear foundation. Second of which, I feel like if you have relatively clear skin, you do not need BB cream or like a foundation to put on your skin. If you put makeup on your actual skin, I feel like it does a better job in enhancing your features, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. So yeah, let's get on with the video. First thing I like to do is moisturize my lips. I do not put moisturizer on my skin because, like I said, it's really humid, I'm gonna be sweating anyway, so I just don't do it. But if you have really dry skin, I suggest you do that. Whatever it is, prep your skin, whatever. The first thing I like to do is start off with my eyebrows. So for me personally, I already have pretty dark eyebrows. I just pluck them to shape them nicely. I'm using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit. This is in the shade 06. It's basically the one with the chunkier tip. What I like to do is just to basically just fill in the top parts, or like the arch of my eyebrows first, and then I kind of go one stroke down to the tails. Then I do one very light stroke in the front to kind of just define the front a bit. Try not to fill my eyebrows too much because it can be looking a little bit too bold for my liking sometimes. I blend it upwards, and then I just blend. And you can see this tail's a little bit thinner compared to this one, so hair-like strokes downwards. Next up, I'm going to be concealing the under parts of my eyebrows. So I'm just taking my H3 concealer and I'm just doing a few dabs. This just kind of highlights and cleans up the brow to make your eyebrows stand out a little bit more. So basically what I realized is a lot of people like using brown shades or like light brown for their eyebrows, and personally I don't think that's like natural. I like using more like a gray or light gray kind of shade because I feel like it matches your actual undertone of your eyebrows. You can get away with looking like you did not fill in your eyebrows when you actually did, with a shade that actually matches your undertone, not like a light brown shade. And the warmth of their fingers usually melts in the product into your skin. Spot concealing, just taking it and just dabbing it on just a few spots. Yeah, I'll take my finger again, dab it. I really suggest investing in a really good high coverage concealer that matches your skin tone perfectly. The Fenty concealer is pretty good, like coverage wise, and the Tarte concealer. Set, I'm just using my Laura Mercier. This is just a translucent powder. I've had this for like 3 years now, and because I don't wear foundation and stuff, like it's lasted me this long. But I really suggest investing into it because it's just a really good staple product, I feel like. Next up, I'm going to be gluing down my eyebrows with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Okay, so next up, what I like to do is I like to do my eyelashes and then I do the rest of my face. I think I'm using the Shiseido eyelash curler because it's really good for like Asian eyes and Asian lashes. Showing you guys how I make my very short lashes appear long. Always all about how you curl them. So I first like to curl the base and then I kind of do this go up, so it kind of creates a really nice C-curl, and then I like to go it outwards like this so it curls the outside, and then I like to do it in the inner corners as well. Do you see the difference? Like, I have really short lashes, but this is how I curl them to make them appear long. And then I kind of go back to the base to just really make sure I'm getting the most out of my short lashes. What I suggest using to make your eyelashes stay curled the whole day is using mascara base. This is the PMEL Essence Mascara Base, and I got this Osaka when I was in Japan. I think you can try looking for this online, but I'm not so sure if they sell it. But I'll try and link it if I can find any. Stuff really makes our eyelashes like stay up the whole day. Usually I do not wear this on every day because it's kind of hard to like remove, but because I'm doing a tutorial, I have to put this on. Kind of do like a really even coat on my entire So while while that dries, I like to do the rest of my face. So let's start with contouring. I first like to use a cream contour just like as a base, but I used to do this a lot when I used to go to school, but now I don't go to school anymore because I'm done with my A-levels. Using the Fenty Beauty contour stick. This is in the shade Suede, which I personally feel like is too warm for me. So I used to draw it on, but then I feel like that was just very apparent on my skin tone, especially because I'm quite fair. So now I just like to do a little dots. I feel like this is a lot more natural. I don't do it on my actual contour line. I do like a little bit above, like on my cheekbones kind of. And then I just do a little bit like at the back of my jaw here and just blend it out. Yeah, I feel like definitely the dabbing motion of the product makes a softer kind of look on your skin. It's not too harsh as for you to draw a line. It's definitely a lot easier to blend out as well. Next, to set that in place, I'm using a contour powder. I'm using this shade. I don't really know what shade I got, but basically I know it's Innisfree and I know it's one of the contour shades, but I am personally more on the cooler side or more on the neutral side, so I prefer getting contour shades that are like more cooler because I feel like it creates more of a shadow effect instead of a bronzy effect. And definitely I feel like the shadow effect has a more natural look, so it makes it look like you have natural contours instead of like an orange shadow on your face. As you can see, it really looks like I have natural like contours on my face, but in reality, and then I'm just going on the edges of my face. I like to bring it on the temples. This literally just fell out of what? Okay, that's tragic. So now I just go in my favorite blush. So this is just the Tarte blush in Seduce, and I just kind of go on the apples of my cheeks. I kind of drag it up here. I really like blush. I feel like if you pick the right shade for you, you can definitely come up with a really nice, youthful, healthy look. Okay, so now since the mascara base has dried, I'm gonna continue my eyelashes. I use the Kiss Me by Harry and Meg. I don't really like this mascara though. It's really waterproof, but I don't really like it because the bristles or like the wand is very thick, which I don't like. I prefer a more like thinner wand because I have a lot of eyelashes, but they're thin, if that makes any sense. So if I use a thick wand, it makes them look really clumpy. The key with this mascara base I learned is that you cannot put too much mascara because it will like droop down your eyelashes. I'm looking down and I'm blinking. As you can see, this one looks a lot longer than this one because these are like clumped together. And then what I realized, to prevent your mascara from smudging, I like to take a little bit of translucent powder, kind of just bake underneath my eyes. I just take the powder and I bake. And I kind of just drag it up here because it creates like elongated effect that's really trendy right now. But yeah, I like to bake a lot on the outer parts underneath. Okay, next, nose contour. These are all from Innisfree, by the way, but I just purchased this shade. It's like a brownie cooler tone shade, and I like to use this for my contour. So I just take a little bit with this brush. I like to really define this part of my nose because I have a really flat nose bridge. Round up here to blend it up here as well, and then I just kind of go over. That's why I feel like it's really important to pick a contour shade that really suits your skin tone, because then you can pull it off without wearing foundation and stuff, because it just matches the natural shadows of your skin. And then I'm just doing a little bit at the bottom to kind of like make my nose look a little bit more lifted. So I don't really like contouring this. I like kind of putting my brush here, stopping this way, and just dragging it down. So that's what I do usually. I feel like it does a better job at making your nose look a lot more lifted than it actually is. Because I don't really have a very lifted nose. Like my nose bridge is almost non-existent because of an accident when I was younger. I like to definitely contour a little bit more up here. Okay, finally we're moving on to highlights. So I'm just using the Face Studio Chrome Extreme by Maybelline. It was in Sandstone Shimmer. I'm using a fan brush to kind of just go into product and go along my cheekbones. If you're living in a more dry area, I suggest using cream products, but for me, I'm living in a really humid area, so powder just works fine with me. I never realized how much highlight made a difference in bringing out my cheekbones, but I started doing it again and it really does bring out my cheekbones a lot. Using a smaller fluffy brush to kind of go on my brow bone and dragging it in. And I'm taking a little bit and I'm just going in my tear duct. And a little bit in the inner corners comes down here. And then I'm just taking a little bit of highlight and I'm going from my nose bridge and just straight down. This really does a big difference when it comes to bringing out your nose. Taking a smaller brush, putting a little bit more on the tip and a little bit more here. Put a lot of highlight to kind of bring it out, to make it look a lot taller than it actually is. Just intensify the inner corner highlight. Taking a little bit of that brown shadow and putting it a little bit in my socket because my eyelid's looking really freaking fair at the moment. And because my under eyes are looking really bright, I don't like that, so I'm just taking the same brush with the contour powder and just going underneath. So I'm kind of wiping off the bake whilst adding some shadow underneath my eye. Finally, we are moving on to the lips. I don't really do anything to my lips. I like having a really nice natural color. What I've been doing recently is just taking a very nude kind of lip pencil. This is just the Urban Decay 24 Hours Glide On Lip Pencil. I really like the formula of this one. It's really smooth and silky, and it's just a nude pink shade. This is in the shade Liar. I want to make it look like I have bigger lips, so what I like to do is just overline the top part like so. And because it's such a natural color, it just looks like you're just not wearing any lipstick. So I kind of do that, and I like to lightly outline any areas that I want to define more. Like, as you can see, my lips look so much bigger by just overlining it a little bit. And then I like to overline the bottom half. Because we had chopstick before, it's super easy to blend out. And usually I'll call it a day, but I'm going to be putting my lip gloss. So it depends on what day I'm feeling. On certain days, my lips do look a lot more pale, and on certain days, my lips do look a lot more pink. I haven't really decided what look I want to go for today, but I usually pick between the two Fenty lip glosses I have. This is my all-time favorite lip gloss. I can just pull this off without putting the lip liner. So this is in the shade Fussy because it's more cool tone. Diamond Milk. This one is when I have a lot of lip liner, and if I feel like my lips are too red, then I usually use this one to kind of mute it down. But today I'm going to be using Fussy because I want to have a little bit more color to my lips. Put a little bit, spread it out, and then I kind of go a little bit over, and that really makes your lips look big. But yeah, I really like this. It takes a long time to dry down, and it really gives a really nice sheen to your lips. So that is it for my everyday makeup routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and picked up a few tips along the way. And like I said, this look is very much on enhancing your own features. So yeah, that is it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah.